Just a reminder that these videos are made for adult doll collectors or adults buying dolls for others. This is not a video for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you very much for listening.
Hello Internet! My name is Kelsey and welcome back to my closet. So you guys asked and I shall deliver. When I said I was getting two different special Ariels, you guys wanted to see them both in one big video, and yes, I know you can't see her in this box, but she's in there, trust me. We are going to do a double Ariel unboxing today. The Enchanted Elegance Ariel from Mattel Creations, which was on pre-order in the summer and finally shipped. And the new 35th anniversary special Mattel Ariel in her purple dress from the end of the movie doll that just released recently and was available on Shop Disney, which is where I ordered her from, and also on Amazon, but I think she's sold out on Amazon. I got both of them. This one I had ordered a while ago and I was just waiting, and it just so happened that this one came out and they both wound up arriving on the same day, or like one day apart. So I was like, yeah, if you guys want to see both of them, we might as well. I think I might have to get a new shelf and make it an Ariel shelf at this point. This one, the Enchanted Elegance Ariel, was $75. And like I said, she was from Mattel Creations exclusively. She, Rapunzel, and Mulan were part of that new series. Is kind of the follow-up to the Radiance collection, but a much better follow-up than the Radiance collection. And she comes in a fancy box where we can't actually see her, but we'll look at her soon. This one, like I said, is another Mattel doll, but this one, I'm surprised they sold it on Shop Disney, actually. I guess because it's a special 35th anniversary one, but usually the Disney store only sells their own dolls, like the LEs and the Playline ones. So yeah, I was kind of surprised that she wound up on Shop Disney, but she was also on Amazon. She was $50. Now I want to preface this, and you might have heard me say this before, by saying that The Little Mermaid is not actually one of my favorite of the Disney movies. I know it started the Disney Renaissance. It's incredibly iconic and historic for that reason. But in my opinion, The Little Mermaid walked so that Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, and all those could run. Get it? She walked because she became a human and got legs. Who do we want to start with? I mean, we're gonna look at both of them, we're gonna compare them, and I'll grab my other Ariel, the holiday one from last year that was a Target exclusive, also a Mattel doll. They all have very different faces, and so, I mean, it's the same mold, and I think I really prefer the Mattel Ariel mold more than the Disney Store one, but just look different just because of the makeup looks. So we'll compare all three of them, and I probably won't be able to choose one that I like the best, but I'll be excited to just see all the interesting levels of Ariel. So let's start with this one so we can open the box. So the outside of the Enchanted Elegance box has some raised, shiny seaweed designs. It says Ariel Enchanted Elegance Collection, and there's a little Mattel logo in the side there. There's more of the shiny seaweed on either side of the box. Kind of looks like a shoebox. If you look at it, just a very shallow shoebox. I wouldn't necessarily think that this was an Ariel doll just by looking at this box. I think I definitely prefer the packaging on the other one because it definitely evokes that movie moment. We'll look at the back and read this. Make a statement under the stars with this special collection of Disney princess dolls in elegant evening looks. Inspired by Disney's The Little Mermaid, Ariel is ready to discover her place in the world in an exquisite gown that features a signature mermaid silhouette, a layered organza shell-like top, a sequin and sheer sea-scaled gown, and a dramatic draped and twisted skirt with two-tone taffeta. Pearls, seaweed, and coral accent her sparkling jewelry and heels. Join Ariel doll for an enchanted evening you'll never forget. I actually don't know what her shoes look like because I don't think the stock pictures showed her shoes. So that'll be something to discover. And here is the inside. It's just more of the seaweed. And finally, we can take a look at Ariel. Of course, she is behind some plastic, so there's going to be a glare, but we get a general idea of how she looks. There she is, and behind her, I guess it's supposed to look like the palace, like her Triton's palace. And this box has a removable sleeve and a removable thing here so that you can easily take her out to display her or to remove her from the packaging, which is what we're gonna do. And there's the certificate of authenticity down here. Mattel Creations Disney Collector. This certifies that your Disney Enchanted Elegance collection Ariel doll was created through collaborative efforts of Disney and designers and artists at Mattel. Now, let's take a look at it doesn't really have a name, this one. It's just like 35th anniversary Ariel. So we're gonna call her Purple Dress Ariel because that's what she is. So on the front here, it says the Little Mermaid in silver, and there's some silver sparkles in the plastic. And I love the way that they did this box, really, because the clear all the way around, if you're an in-box collector, this is a really nice displayable box. You can view her from all angles, and then you have the background of the water, of her stepping out of the ocean. It really captures, like I said, that moment in the movie, and I've always thought that that was one of the prettiest moments in the movie. Ariel's blue dress is my favorite. I've said that before when we looked at the Ariel from last year. But this, I mean, purple's my favorite color. And I love the sparkle that that dress has when she's walking out and she's like so happy because she gets to be with Eric. So I'm really glad that they finally made this happen, and it really does evoke, I mean, even better than actually the dress that she wears because there's extra accent. Yeah, she is really super gorgeous. On the back, we have this super cute artwork of her too, which I think I'm going to save. Even just the face that they gave her in this artwork. They really made this dress come to life too, and it doesn't look like they skimped at all. Celebrate the 35th anniversary of Disney's The Little Mermaid with this special edition Ariel doll. In a nod to the moment her dream comes true and she walks out of the sea as a human. Ariel's glittering gown is draped with sheer ruffles and adorned with a splash-inspired collar and accessories. From her world to yours, this Ariel doll will be a treasured addition to your collection. Yes, indeed. Let us make Ariel part of my world. Alright guys, we've got both Ariels out of the box, and wow. Look at both of them. They are so different and yet both so gorgeous. I just have to say, before we get into anything else, thank you, Mattel, because they finally did a doll. A collector doll. A nice doll that you're supposed to keep really nice without using the plastic ties to hold down the clothes. It's a miracle! It's a miracle! Please keep doing that, Mattel. Oh, please, 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 please. I can't deal with the holes anymore. This was so nice that I knew I wasn't gonna have holes in their clothes because they were all tied in with thread. That emotion out of the way, we're gonna start with Enchanted Elegance Ariel because I did buy her chronologically first, so yeah, might as well. This is nothing about preference or anything. So, let's take a look at her. Here is Ariel right out of the box. Just really gorgeous. I'm pretty sure both of them have the same body because they both come with the exact same stand that has the weird saddle, kind of like the Model Muse or Music Muse stand. So I'm wondering if they used that body but changed out the arms, because both of their arms have articulation, but their legs are not posable. We'll look at that more closely in a bit. Let's just look at Ariel. Now, the one thing I will say, I mean, I like this. It's getting in the way of her face just a little bit. Like, if it was just slightly shorter, that would have been better. But maybe I can try to finagle it down a little bit, just because I want to be able to see her face totally unobstructed. And yeah, if you were eating in this dress, like if you went to some kind of special event and you were wearing this and you had that in front of you, it would be kind of annoying to eat with. I'm getting sidetracked. Let's look at this face. Oh man. Gorgeous, gorgeous face. A little more mature for Ariel than we would normally see, but I think that's because of the rooted eyelashes that kind of adds that mature look to her, but still beautiful. Like, just such a sweet smile, the little cheeks and everything. That's why I've been collecting the Ariels, because Ariel, well, first of all, I also really love red hair, and I mean, doesn't get more red than Ariel's hair, but her face is always so cute and sweet. So I wind up looking at an Ariel and I'm like, so I'm just gonna hold the collar down a little bit so it'll be easier to see the face. So she has a light blue eyeshadow, and there is a darker blue behind her eyelashes. It's a little bit difficult to see because of the eyelashes. You can see in between the eyelashes when I'm moving them a little bit. And the eyelashes are actually pretty soft and mobile, as you saw. They're not sticking straight out like some other Mattel dolls have done in the past. It's a very elegant, not super glamorous makeup look, but just a little something extra special to go with this kind of premiere gala gown. She has a dark red lipstick as well, and of course her big smile. And then she has her hair, which is not really pulled up into too much of a style. It's just pulled back a little bit on the side, and of course she has her curly bang here, which is heavily gelled there and down here at the bottom. This up here is nice and soft, definitely saran. I do still want to wash the hair though and try to get the gel out, and I can definitely redo the curls on my own if I had to. And it goes down pretty decently far, a little bit past her butt. And then the hair accessory here, it's a gold plated, it's definitely plastic. It looks like coral, and it has little pearly pearls on top of it. It's sewn into the hair, so if I wash it, I'm not going to be taking it out because I'll never get it back in. It's so, like, that was part of the reason why I really liked this doll, especially in comparison to the Midnight Masquerade Ariel, which pretty much came out, or at least the stock pictures came out around the same time. And they both have a similar design in that they're both wearing a mermaid gown. There, I'll put her up on the screen too, because I did a comparison in a news video with the two of them, but we'll just do it again for those of you who might have missed that. The other one, they did the mermaid gown and it's not really that transformative, and they missed some of her core colors, which I didn't think of before. But, you know, the purple of her mermaid look, her seashell top, it's a major part of her character, so to take that color out for what's supposed to be a special edition doll that's kind of mimicking that mermaid look didn't really make a lot of sense. I just thought the design was just so underdone, or half-baked, I guess is what I mean. Compared to this, where they really took a mermaid gown and they found ways to make it more interesting than just, it's a mermaid character in a mermaid gown. That's why I really, really liked this one when I saw it. And I also like the jewelry, because the other one doesn't really have, like, standout jewelry. This one, the fact that they made these ocean-themed jewelry pieces just elevated her even more. And this doll was half the price, pretty much, of the other one. So, like, they really nailed it for her at Mattel, and I'm, like, so impressed. Anyway, back to the jewelry. We have the earrings, which are kind of seaweed in a wreath shape. Again, we have the gold plating, and then there is a scallop shell in the center, which is kind of a pearly color, like the pearls in her hairpiece. And they are removable, and there's a little bit of plastic on them to kind of protect her face in the box, but I'll remove that before I put her up on display. That's really hard to notice, but on the rim of the seashell itself, there is some gold paint. That is some really nice detail. Speaking of jewelry, we'll do this one real quick before we move on to the outfit. On her wrist here, she has a gold piece of coral, again, which has pearls with the pearlescent paint. Now this isn't like the plated gold, it's just the golden plastic that they use on other Mattel dolls. I would have liked to see it in the gold plating just so that it would match with everything else, but I guess because there's some separation from the top to the bottom where the bracelet is, it's a little bit more forgivable. But yeah, it would have been nice, especially at the $75 price tag, to have all of it have the gold. And now we can look at this fabulous dress. And now, okay, it's a mermaid gown on a mermaid character. I just said it about the Disney Store one. But this is so much more than just a basic mermaid gown, because they have this kind of layering going on. I don't know, I really like it. I think this is one of the best mermaid gowns that I've seen on a doll, because mermaid gowns on dolls have been very popular lately, but this one really does evoke her original form as a mermaid. So up at the top here, like I said, this is supposed to be her seashell bra and what that turned into. So we have the ridged purple organza. It's got some shimmer to it. If you pull it open like that, you can see how the light hits it. So there's shimmer built into the fabric. Underneath is the same green as the rest of the dress. And there's actually 2 layers here, same shade. It's just that when you put the 2 layers together, it makes it look a little bit darker. So we have this upper one that's kind of blocking her face, and then another layer in the front that kind of makes a sweetheart neckline. It's very dramatic, very much like a high fashion sort of design that you would see on somebody walking down the runway. So definitely goes with the theme. The next section around her torso here, we have the sequin scales. So that part goes from front to back on one side. They are a dark green, like a sea green teal kind of color. And normally I don't like sequins. The reason I'm okay with this is because A, it's not a lot. It's only this one little section of the dress. And B, because it does call back to her scales. It makes sense. So I am okay with the sequins here. I do like the extra little reflective moment there when the light hits it. And then on this side, there's a little bit of mesh so that the dress is still one piece, but she's not naked over here. There's still something covering her. And then, of course, we get to the rouged main mermaid skirt, which is also this deep greenish teal color. It is made of satin. Now, I had kind of expected a slightly higher quality satin, considering the price tag and that this was a special edition doll. This is a little bit more on the papery side for satin that Mattel has used, so I was a little bit surprised by that. But at the same time, because it's the papery kind of satin, it does hold its shape a little bit better. And we do have this big dramatic twist at the bottom here, which sticks up more naturally on its own because of the type of satin that they use. And there is an underlayer as well that's helping that. So I can forgive them for that. There is a lot of rouging though. I mean, like, a lot of rouging. And it goes all the way around on both sides. This was a very complicated kind of dress to make for 1/6 scale. It's a good use of the mermaid gown for a mermaid character. To mimic her fins, of course, we have more of that organza. So we have an underlayer of the skirt that is the same shimmery purple organza, just adds some volume, has a little peekaboo at the bottom there. I really think they did a great job with the design of this. Just the incorporation of all of her signature colors and everything, and her undersea heritage, I guess. They really brought it all together into this really cool high fashion look. And then finally, let's look at the shoes, since I haven't really seen them yet. Aha! Oh, yeah, I like these. So I definitely, now that I'm seeing the feet, because they're very tall heels, I'm thinking this is a Model Muse, just the body, and they took the different arms. These are the shoes. They are the same color as the dress. There are gold accents on the toe, and little pearly details. And around the back here, we have some seaweed going around the heel like a strap. I think in this collection that Mulan and Rapunzel have slightly better shoes than this, but you can't really see her shoes that well anyway, I mean, at all. You can't see her shoes at all in this dress, so the fact that they did some detail and there's painted details, it's good. They made a special mold just for this doll for the shoes, but these are still good. They do their purpose, and I like that they have the gold and the pearl accents. And yeah, that is Enchanted Elegance Ariel. And like I said, she has legs that are kind of stuck, so her one knee is cocked forward permanently. But she can sit down, and she has arm articulation, so we can pose her wrist and elbow and shoulder and move her head around as well. And I think both of them have the same body. And the stand that she comes with is kind of an octagonal stand. It says Disney on the bottom here, on the black base, and it's one of those weird saddle stands. These are hard to get on the first time, but then they stay forever, which is nice. I think I got her in position, so now she's ready for when I find a place to display her. And now we can look at purple dress Ariel. Now, oh, she's so gorgeous. Such a different vibe, such subtle changes though, and yet she just looks gorgeous still. Like a gorgeous in a whole different way. And like I said, I really love this look and that moment at the end of the movie. I think it's so sweet. Let's go top to bottom one more time on Ariel. So her makeup here is much, much more natural looking. She just has a little bit of glitter under her eye. She has a lighter pink lipstick. She also has a very light purple eyeshadow to match the purple in her dress. Her hair is in her classic style, just down with her big swoopy bang. There's one extra little curl here or over her shoulder. Most of them are just rock solid back here. Again, definitely going to have to wash the hair. But yeah, she is just so pretty and cute and such a sweet little face. I really do like this face. I mean, or this face up, I should say. I like the other Ariel's face, don't get me wrong. I think she's gorgeous. But this one is a little more true to Ariel as that like young, bright-eyed, innocent kind of character that she is. This one is more based in the movie, whereas the other one is more based in like alternate reality. We'll say that's the explanation. And then we have the big collar behind her, the splash color. I have heard some people say on different, Instagrams that this is kind of ugly. I understand why it's kind of weird. I don't know whether or not I want to take it off of her. Like, it's part of that moment, although she doesn't actually come splashing up out of the water like she does in the Part of Your World song. She just kind of walks along the beach. But, I know why they did it. And I think it's pretty cool, and it might be a cool accessory to use on your other dolls, other Ariels that you might have, or just, any mermaid doll that you have. But yeah, I can understand why people think it looks kind of dumb. I get what they were going for. I think it could be repurposed. But anyway, as for what the collar actually looks like, it's just a bunch of squiggly splashes in a clear plastic. It has hooks around the neck shoulder area. It hooks from both sides, and there's a hole in the back for the hair to go through. So I think if you took the rubber bands off that are holding it right now, it would probably stay pretty well. But yeah, I don't know. Let's take it off. I think we're gonna leave her like this. She looks a lot more comfortable this way. Like I said, I understand the concept that they were going for, and it's a cool accessory, and you could probably use it for somebody else, but I think for display purposes, I might leave her like this. Maybe I put it around her feet to kind of look like she's floating on the water. Although her shoes kind of also do that for us, but we'll get to them later. Now, let's look at this beautiful dress. Oh, I love this. I love the way that they put this dress together. Just wow. First of all, it is so sparkly, which, I mean, they picked the perfect kind of material to do this dress in. I'm loving the way the light hits this. It looks better in person. I don't know if the camera is picking it up as well, but I love the way that the light is shimmering off this dress in person. It is an off-the-shoulder dress. There are clear straps on her shoulders just to help hold it up, and I don't know what you would call this material, but whatever it is, it's got all this silver thread woven into it. She also has some shimmery purple tulle going across the chest and into little sleeves. The same tulle is wrapped around her waist, and that continues all the way around for both. And then it goes down into this long skirt, which has a slit here where you can see her legs, and again, her knee is cocked there. Well, first of all, it's lined. I mean, this is the kind of satin that I was hoping for on the other doll, because it's the nice, smooth, more flowy, drapey kind of satin. And let me see. It's lined throughout the whole dress. So if you look under the neckline here, you can see the satin. So the whole dress is lined in that satin, which is super, super nice. And then on the one edge of the slit is this ruffly tulle. There's a couple of layers there. It kind of looks like jellyfish tentacles, and it goes down kind of into the train a little bit and stops right at the one panel here ending. And then there's more of that on this side. So we have a shorter layer. It's a little bit stretchy, as you can see. And then a longer one. They both hang down here and again have a kind of jellyfish look to them. She's not a jellyfish, but I think that this works really well to take that classic dress and put it to the next level. And, you know, because it is a pretty simple looking dress in the movie, and we only get to see it for like 2 seconds. To take some creative liberties like that, it makes the dress even more spectacular, and I'm totally okay with that. On this arm here, to go with that theme of her coming out of the water, she has a cuff kind of bracelet that matches the collar. It's supposed to look like water swirling around her forearm, and that matches her shoes down here, which, like, when I saw these, I was like, okay, you absolutely sold me here, Mattel. We've got some swirly waves at the heel, and then water coming up and curling around her feet. So it looks like she's not really wearing shoes, that she's just walking on water. I think that was genius. That was absolutely genius for this doll. Incredible, gorgeous. She is just stunning. They're both stunning, but capturing that moment in the movie was just so well done here. Also, her stand, like I said, it's the same mold and shape because they have the same body, but hers is totally clear. Again, because she's walking on water, and there you have it. And because it's clear, it doesn't really look like she's on the stand. But let's see. If we did this, see that? I like that a lot better than having it around her face, because it does look like she's standing in the water. I think that is how I'm gonna display her, with that around the stand. They could have made the stand just into that. That would have been nice, like the way they did for the live action Ariel. We have now looked at both our Ariels. Let me grab my other one. All right, so here is the holiday Ariel from last year. Here's our 3 stages of Ariel. In the middle is her original form, just morphed into a gown. On this side, we have her village dress when she can't talk, and then her end of the movie dress. Yeah, it's hard to kind of compare all 3 of them at the same time, but I mean, you could tell they all have the same face, just with different makeup looks. How can you really choose between all 3 of these? They are all gorgeous for different reasons. The one in the middle definitely has the most altered look of Ariel because she has the eyelashes and the more mature makeup. Just comparing the 2 of them, you can see how different her face looks just with the addition of the eyelashes and the dark lipstick. Looking at the 2 of them now, is this just me, or does this one have a smaller head? The same face, or is it the same face that they scaled down? I think this one's head is definitely bigger. I don't know. I didn't notice that before. But now I'm looking at the two of them, and their face molds are different. I mean, they're similar, and it's probably the same mold, just scaled differently, but this one's definitely got a bigger head. I think these two are definitely the same mold, because the head size is much closer. This one's skin looks a little bit oranger for some reason, but I think it looks different because this one has the side glance, and she's looking forward, but the lips and the nose look the same, and the head size looks to be pretty much the same, but this one definitely is very movie accurate, and as is this one. I don't think I could pick between these two, which is why I wound up with both of them. I couldn't pick between all three of them because they're just all so gorgeous. I am officially an Ariel collector now. I wasn't collecting a lot of Disney princess stuff in the past, but I guess Ariel has just won my heart, and on top of that, I'm not spending as much money on other things like Rainbow High, which consumed most of my doll budget, so now I can focus on Disney princesses if I feel like it, or just Ariel. As far as money, speaking of budgets, $75, $50. This one definitely does a really great job at a $50 price point, and you know how Mattel is, their prices are just all over the place all the time. So, you know, she has a really, really nice quality dress for $50. And she doesn't have a lot of jewelry, but that's because they gave her this thing, so that ate up like the jewelry budget. Plus she doesn't really wear jewelry. The fact that they gave her this to kind of be a piece of jewelry was at least a nice way to make up for that. I think $50 is definitely fair for this doll, especially considering that she is a collector celebrating the 35th anniversary of the movie. $75 for this one. I mean, all of the Mattel Creations exclusive ones tend to be overpriced. I think, was the Radiance collection also $75? Because if so, this one is definitely worth way more than the Radiance collection. But I would have liked to see somewhat nicer satin. I understand, again, that they wanted a stiffer satin to achieve this look, but I think that they still could have gotten away with something a little bit less papery. That's my main thing, because the main part of the dress is made of this papery material. If this was a slightly better satin, I would probably say the $75 was fine, considering, again, it's a Disney doll and a Mattel Creations doll. And $75 is like their standard price on everything. Plus she has the gold plating on the hairpiece and the jewelry, and the design is really, really pretty. I mean, she looks gorgeous. I just would have liked an upgrade on the satin. But otherwise, you know, we expect these things out of Mattel Creations. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Who's your favorite Ariel between the two of them? And who's your favorite Ariel between the three of them? Do you prefer this one over these two? Just a reminder, she was only like $30, and she has a really nice quality outfit too. I mean, she had that petticoat that surprised me so much. Who is your favorite Ariel? Let me know. Let me know if you are planning on getting any of these Ariels, or if you've gotten any of the other Mattel Disney dolls that they've been coming out with recently. I just gotta say, Mattel, I'm loving what you're doing with the Disney dolls. Keep up the good work. I'm pleased that you have the license because you are not wasting it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and until next time, under the sea, come visit us down where it's wetter, us Ariels 3.